Okay guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back again, and it is Sunday, July 26th, and it is 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I have already uploaded one video, and it's still processing, as it seems to take forever these days. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and record another video because, you know, I am in pain, but not, at least I can sit comfortably here. And all right. So anyway, let's just pick up from where we left off, and I'm just going to hit on a few other news items. Not sure how long this video will be. Probably not as long as the last one, but who knows. Anyway, we'll just jump right in here. I already thanked the people that I needed to thank, and we are just going to continue on here. All right, I'm going to hit on this. This is, I believe, from today, July 26th, so it's new and fresh. Video, Jerry Nadler says Antifa violence isn't real. Suggests it's just a rumor Trump started. So I guess our eyes are lying to us? They must be. All those videos that people have been taking, I guess what? Are they all staged? Well, that's what Nadler would like us to believe. The Democratic Party doesn't really think American public really does think the American public are absolute morons. Well, they must. Or why would anybody say something like that? I mean, I don't know what planet he's living on, but does he think that just because he says it, we'll believe it? Oh, yeah, right. It's something that Trump, you know, dreamt up. Yeah, that no violence happening. Everybody's peaceful. Nobody's been killed. Everything, it's all staged. Yep, it's all fake. Right. A conservative pundit who goes by Fleckus ran into Representative Jerry Nadler in Washington, D.C., and he had a question for him. Fleckus asked Nadler if he'd disavow all of the violence from the left-wing rioters, namely Antifa. Nadler not only wouldn't disavow the violence, but he said it's not real. Yes, that's right. All of the hundreds of violent videos you watch every week showing rioting, explosive fires, shooting, and beatings are just a figment of President Trump's imagination. Nadler said basically those exact words. He said that Antifa violence is a myth that is only talked about in Washington, D.C. You can watch the video below. So let's go ahead and watch that. I think that it'll be quite entertaining.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now?
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Sir, there's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there. Look online. It gets crazy, Mr. Nadler.
Wow, so thinks it's fake news.
Antifa's a myth.
Yeah, Antifa's a myth in Portland. Meanwhile, the whole city is on fire, and they're trying to burn down the courthouse. But, you know, it is true.
I mean, it's crazy. And does he not look a little bit like the penguin? He even waddles. I'm just asking for a friend. Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, let's go back and find what else is in the news. All right, let's look at this. C-SPAN caller threatens bloodshed against Trump supporters. This is fresh and hot, like the Krispy Kreme donut sign. It's today's news. A Democrat caller told C-SPAN this weekend. A Democrat caller told C-SPAN this weekend suggested that see, again, what is it with, nobody can write anymore. Are there no editors left in the world? And will we find them? When we find them, will we find the answers to all the other mysteries in the world? Are they all together somewhere on an island, sipping tea? I don't know. Anyway, suggested that the murder of a black supporter of President Trump should serve as a warning to Trump supporters and federal agents. Bernal Trammell was gunned down in Milwaukee outside of his office, and we just covered that in the video that I just did. This morning, a Trump supporter was shot and killed in a drive-by in Milwaukee. I don't know if you got that news, the caller said, but the people in Milwaukee are waiting for those troops to come in because they got weapons and there's going to be a lot of bloodshed when they come. So that's all I got to say. Trump supporter Boris I can't pronounce his last name, was stunned by the threat. What's that supposed to mean? Now you have people on our air threatening our lives, he said. Instead of addressing the issue, the C-SPAN anchor ignored the threat. Let's go to Chris, the anchor said. This guy, whoever he was, this Boris, I can't pronounce his last name, objected and interrupted the host. You just had a caller who said shooting Trump supporters is right, he said. Anyone who is a Democrat or an independent should listen to what the gentleman just said and realize where the Democrats are in this country. Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and listen to this. It says, insane Democrat C-SPAN caller threatens bloodshed for troops and Trump supporters. Are you kidding me? No. Why would we kid you about a thing like that?
On the Democratic line. John, good morning.
Yes, this morning, a Trump supporter was shot and killed in a drive-by in Milwaukee. I don't know if you got that news, but the people in Milwaukee are waiting for those troops to come in because they got weapons. And it's going to be a lot of bloodshed when they come. So that's all I got to say.
What's that supposed to mean? So now you got people on your air threatening our lives? Is that what it is, Jesse?
Let's keep going to Chris, who's calling from Oceanside.
I mean, you just had a caller call in and said that that shooting Trump supporters is right. I mean, anybody who's a Democrat or independent should listen to what that gentleman just said and realize where the Democrats are in this country. They're threatening our lives. It is disgusting, it's despicable, and it's criminal. And that sounded like a threat against the president and his campaign. I hope the Secret Service investigates.
I hope they do too. I hope they do too. But it seems like it's okay to threaten conservatives now. It's like open season on conservatives and Trump supporters. Why is that? Nothing's ever said. They never seem to threaten their own, ever. It's always Trump supporters and Republicans. And they think it's okay to kill us. They think that's okay. They think they're doing God a favor. It says that in the end times. Basically, it says that they will kill you and think they're doing God a favor. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. All right, well, let's go back because there's more. There's always more. The news never ends. It never, ever ends. Okay, well, here's some good news. Some feel-good news. Epic, President Trump stops motorcade, tosses MAGA hats to supporters in New Jersey. And this is from today. It's hot and fresh. President Trump on Sunday stopped his motorcade to greet his supporters in New Jersey. The president exited the armored vehicle and tossed red MAGA hats to cheering supporters waving American flags. And it says, moments ago, President Trump tosses red MAGA hats to a crowd of supporters in New Jersey. He is socially distanced from the group. The president's actions are not unprecedented, as he has been a longtime fan of showing gratitude to his most loyal supporters. Supporters cheered and chanted 4 more years as President Trump tossed red MAGA hats into the crowd. And Steve Herman reported the president was traveling en route to Trump Bedminster, where the president and some of his staff spent the weekend. Trump Bedminster has been a popular weekend location for the president, the first family, and his staff since he was elected in 2016. You'll never see this type of enthusiasm from Sleepy Joe Biden, which is why he has been using the China virus as an excuse to hide in his Delaware basement. Now, is there any... Do they have the video from that? Well, we've got picture, but there was a video out there. Oh no, I guess this is it. Okay, let's see this. I'm gonna make it bigger for you tiny phone people. Always thinking about you tiny phone people. All right. So, it's interesting. He must cause the Secret Service men to have heart attacks when he does something like that. Because you don't know, somebody in that crowd could have had a gun. But he's just unafraid. He's unafraid. You think Joe Biden would do that if he was hated as much as Donald Trump has been hated? But yet, he knows that really the haters are in the minority. They really are. They make it seem like they're a majority because that's all we hear. But they're in a minority. And there he is. He's unafraid. He goes up. He stays socially distant, as he should, I guess. But and he's throwing things out to the crowd and so forth. But he didn't have to stop at all and get out. He actually got out. So, yeah. And I bet you that does cause a little bit of a nightmare for the Secret Service people. I was wondering about this guy because he seems to be wearing something under this, like some sort of armor or something. I don't know what it is, but I just noticed that when we were watching it there. See, he's got something underneath there. I don't know what it is, but and you never know. Donald Trump might be wearing something too, but. Yeah, that's incredibly dangerous because you don't know, like there could be just one person in that crowd that's a little unbalanced. But he is an awesome president. I think he is the best president that the country has ever seen personally. It's unfortunate that others don't recognize that. Like, I don't know. He's very, very personable, and he seems to be a president for the people and by the people and for the people. Okay, well, let's go on now because there's more. Yes, let's look at this. Health Service blames error after telling 600,000 healthy people they'd had COVID-19. Yeah, sure, it was an error. More than 600,000 military-connected Americans affiliated with the TRICARE health plan were told in error Friday that they'd been diagnosed with COVID-19. The individuals and families were in the military health system's East region, according to military.com. The foul-up began when beneficiaries received an email that began with some very jarring news. As a survivor of COVID-19, it's safe to donate whole blood or blood plasma, and your donation could help other COVID-19 patients, the email stated. Then the email went on to explain itself. Your plasma likely has antibodies or proteins present that might help fight the coronavirus infection. Currently, there is no cure for COVID-19. However, there is information that suggests plasma from COVID-19 survivors like you might help some patients recover more quickly from COVID-19, it said. A few hours later, Humana Military, which manages TRICARE across 31 states and the District of Columbia, tried to calm the waters it had roiled. In an attempt to educate beneficiaries who live close to convalescent plasma donation centers about collection opportunities, you received an email incorrectly suggesting you were a COVID-19 survivor. You have not been identified as a COVID-19 survivor, and we apologize for the error and any confusion it may have caused. Humana's email said. According to the Military Times, Marvin Hill, Humana's corporate communications lead, said the company apologized for the confusion caused by the original message. The initial potential panic-inducing message went to some of those living near a plasma collection facility and was not based on any medical information or diagnosis, Hill said. Plasma from individuals who have COVID-19, which is called convalescent plasma, can be used as a possible treatment for the disease. As a part of an effort to educate military beneficiaries about convalescent plasma donation opportunities, Humana was asked to assist our partner, the Defense Health Agency. Language used in the email messages to approximately 600,000 beneficiaries gave the impression that we were attempted to reach only people who had tested positive for COVID-19. We quickly followed the initial email with a clear and accurate second message acknowledging this. We apologize, Hill said in a statement, Military Times reported. Oh, well, they apologize, so everything's fine. How do you make a mistake like that? Really? Like how? Donors are needed to fuel a study about the effectiveness of convalescent plasma. Our goal is to encourage all personnel who have fully recovered from COVID-19 to donate their convalescent plasma as a way to help friends, family, or colleagues who may be suffering from the disease now, or who may contract the disease in the future. The need is now, Army Colonel Audra Taylor, chief of the Armed Service Blood Program, told Military Times. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved convalescent plasma as an investigational therapy in March for those hospitalized with the illness, and more than 35,000 patients in the U.S. have received it. To date, there have been encouraging reports and a lot of mechanistic reasoning that, in fact, convalescent plasma may have that, I don't know why, but that sounds funny, convalescent plasma. Said Dr. Janet Woodstock, director of the Center for Drug Evaluation and Research at the Food and Drug Administration, according to Military Times. These studies are being done as we speak. We need donors. Blood drives are ongoing, and the U.S. government will be trying to accelerate these drives for convalescent plasma, Woodcock says. I don't know, but I don't trust anything to do with COVID now. I don't, because I've heard so many contrary things. And I don't believe the numbers. I don't believe anything that they are reporting as facts to us anymore. So I don't know. And I don't know. I don't think I would donate my plasma. That's me. I'm not telling if it could possibly. Now, if I had COVID-19 and I was recovered and, someone in my family or my community had it and I thought this could help them, then I definitely would. But I don't know. Maybe some of you guys in the healthcare industry can weigh in on this, because I'm kind of speaking out of my hinder parts right now, and it's not based on any fact. So please, if there's anyone out there that is involved in this or in the healthcare industry, have you seen this? Is this something that's actually helping COVID patients? I don't even know anybody that's had it, to tell you the truth. I've heard of people in this area, but nobody that I know personally has had it. All right. Well, let's go back and go on. See what else we have here. Now, I can't believe this. I saw this today on Twitter, and I just could not believe this woman walked up to a couple that are eating in a park and maced them and their food, because they weren't wearing masks while eating. I know, it sounds out there, but it happened. Mask Nazi. Yes, that's what she was. She was a mask Nazi. Woman maces couple for not wearing masks while eating. Brainwashed leftist becomes a jackbooted enforcer for unconstitutional mask mandates. A couple having lunch at a dog park found themselves on the receiving end of pepper spray after an irate woman noticed they weren't wearing face masks while they were eating their food. Ash O'Brien and husband Jarrett Kelly had stopped for lunch with their pug at the Dusty Roads dog park in San Diego on Thursday when a random old lady confronted them and called them idiots for not wearing masks while eating. When O'Brien told the woman to leave the park and stop harassing her, the woman whipped out a can of pepper spray and unleashed it on the couple. Yes, she did. A bystander's video footage shows the aftermath of Kelly trying to wrestle the can away from the lunatic woman before catching a dose of spray in his face. Are you kidding me? You just maced him and their food because you disagree, the bystander yelled at the assailant. What's wrong with you, lady? O'Brien can be heard crying as the woman walks away with her dogs. O'Brien shared the video with an accompanying statement demanding justice for the senseless assault, adding she's intent on pressing charges, and so she should. So this happened today at Dusty Roads Dog Park today in Ocean Beach. This is my husband getting maced by a random old lady. We had our 3-month-old pug with us. We were just sitting down eating lunch and minding our own business. We were not wearing masks because we were eating. You can't wear a mask and eat at the same time. She kept calling us idiots and flipping me off, O'Brien wrote. Then she started saying more stuff, and I told her to leave the park and stop harassing us. She then came right up to our table where we were eating, pointed the mace at me, and mace at me first and got a little on me, and then my husband stepped in and took the entire can. Thank God for the bystander that took this video, because we are going to the police now to press charges. I am sharing this because people need to watch out for this lady in San Diego. Please share to spread awareness. This is me crying hysterically in the background because my innocent husband just got maced for no reason. We want justice. California's coronavirus guidelines on masks specifically mention eating and drinking as being one of the few instances where not wearing a mask is acceptable. Otherwise, it's punishable by up to $1,000 fine. But nowhere in the state's guideline does it say that civilians can use non-lethal weapons to enforce this policy on the public, especially given some policies are already strongly enforcing it. Some police are already strongly enforcing it across the country. This is just another example of the rise of the mask Nazis, who go to extreme lengths to enforce medically ambiguous mask measure. That is true. And let's take a look at this crazy woman. Yeah, here it is here. I can't make this any bigger, I'm sorry. Oh, maybe I can.
What are you doing? You cannot be serious. You just maced him. You just maced him. You just maced him. You just maced him and your food because you disagree. Don't worry, I'm videotaping. Don't worry. I'm not going to.
That's not okay. Not her. That is not okay.
Not okay.
Treat people like that.
What's wrong with you, lady?
That is wrong. You can't go around doing
It's okay, guys. This is her car.
hate somebody.
Don't worry, I got it. You weren't defending yourself, lady. I got this.
I didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything.
So, yeah, she not only maced them, but she maced their food. So she ruined their food, ruined the lunch they were having, and literally attacked them for no reason because they're not wearing a mask while eating. Well, you know, this, it's making some of these people insane. All of this, they take it to heart. They think that, oh my gosh, if they're not wearing a mask, it's going to kill us all. They're spreading it. Oh, it just insanity. And we're seeing more and more of this. People going just crazy on people at the beach, all over the place. I mean, it's insane. All right, well, let's go and see what else now. Yes. This is justice, and sort of. Well, what goes around comes around. Radio host mocked Trump for calling Seattle violent. Then Antifa torched his apartment building. Yeah. We're not violent. Nothing violent here. Just peaceful protesting. Oops. Antifa just burnt down my apartment building. Go home. Go home. MFer, go home. No, this is an update of sorts to an earlier post. I didn't realize this guy was somebody when he tweeted that his house got torched and his comments about Trump. Figured I'd post this since it makes the story even funnier. Via Post Millennial, Seattle radio host and Twitter-based criminal defense advocate Paul Gallant dunked on President Donald Trump last month by denying that the riots are violent, and then the radio host was scored on by rioters who set fire to his apartment. Now he's taking up arms. Walked through it last night out of curiosity and saw no burning, pillaging, or deaths, Gallant responded in June to Trump's tweet calling out the violent leftists who continue to terrorize Seattle. Chill dog, Gallant added sarcastically. Last night, Gallant had a sudden change of heart toward the peaceful protesters when he came home to his apartment complex vandalized. He found the Starbucks underneath torched with graffiti plastered on the storefront. Cops told residents to stay away in case of explosives inside. Yeah. Peaceful protesters. Right. That's what they are. Let's see what else is here. So this is the Starbucks down here that's been That's the Starbucks that they torched, and there were apartments upstairs, and they were vandalized as well. And the cops will not let people return to the apartments because they said there could be planted explosive devices. Now, where they would get that impression, I don't know, but nothing would surprise me. So he was defending criminals before. He's really angry right now. He and his cat ventured out after he witnessed a fire roaring a few blocks away. I feel like I need to buy a firearm because clearly this is going to keep happening. Enough is enough. Gallant furiously typed, "Not in my backyard," is a hard red pill to swallow. So, yeah, well, I guess he learned, right? I guess he learned that they're not so peacefully protesting. Not when they burned down your house or vandalized it or whatever happened. All right, well, let's go back and see what else. I'm not going to be going too much longer here, but let's look at this. Americans outraged after photo of Dr. Fauci emerges not social distancing with mask around his chin. Looks like Dr. Fauci practices the mask for thee but not for me philosophy. Yes, I would assume so. Yep, there he is. Americans reacted with outrage after a photo emerged of Dr. Fauci at the MLB game opener, not social distancing and wearing his mask around his chin. This comes after Dems have shamed Americans into wearing masks, claiming they're the only thing that will keep us safe from the dreaded COVID pandemic. Yeah. Why is it that Dr. Fauci is sitting right next to two people, no social distancing whatsoever, with his mask protecting only his chin? You recall not too long ago, Dr. Fauci said the masks were basically a security blanket for nervous Nellies and did nothing to actually keep people safe. You can watch the video below. I'm just going to go with what Dr. Fauci says. Masks are pointless and only used to make nervous Nellies feel better.
Now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
Yeah, well, there you go. I guess he doesn't... now they're telling us masks are absolutely 100% necessary. But he's not wearing one. Not him. Okay, well, let's go back now and see what else we can find. Now, this is a couple days old, so is this, but I want to make sure that you guys see this. This is from July 23rd, and probably you've all heard about this, but breaking 20-year-old tough guy who posed for photo holding down crying white baby with his knee on his neck and Black Lives Matter message has been arrested and jailed. Now, I don't know if you've seen this photo, but it's pretty disturbing, and people reacted to it right away on social media, and they found this guy, they arrested him, and he is in jail where he deserves to be. On Tuesday, a disturbing photo showing a crying white baby on its belly while a bearded male uses his knee to pin the baby down by the neck and another dark-skinned person holds the baby's hands behind its back was circulating around on social media. Warning, photo is graphic and disturbing. The caption on the photo that first appeared on Zach Ryan's Facebook page read, BLM now, MF. Imagine if this was in the reverse. The fact that there are multiple people doing this to this child shows you that this cannot simply be explained away as just mentally ill. It's similar to the nursing home videos. Apparently the girl whose kid that is named Anna Aaron. They are staying in Springfield. So he has been arrested. Now let's see if, yeah, there's the child. It's just an infant, really. I mean, not very old. And there's somebody holding the child's hands, and the child's screaming, of course, and he's kneeling on the kid's neck. Now, that's awful, but he has been arrested, and I think that's good. The Gateway Pundit reported on this photo and identified the black man with his knee on the white baby's neck as Isaiah. The grandmother of the child in the photo wrote on Facebook that it was taken while the 2-year-old was with his mother. His mother is dating Jackson. The very angry grandmother said that the baby is now with her son and safe. She is currently attempting to find out who was holding the child's legs and who took the photo. My son is beyond pissed. He took his boy to the ER to get checked out, and everything came back good, the grandmother wrote. He better be glad nothing happened to my grandson, and he better hide from all the people who will be coming for him when he gets out of jail. Fox News, the 20-year-old Ohio man, Isaiah Jackson of Ohio, who was allegedly the man in the photo with his knee on the baby's neck, has been taken into custody and remains incarcerated in the Clark County Jail. Jackson was out on parole and has been thrown in jail and awaits new felony charges after the photo circulated on social media showing him posing with his knee to the neck of a crying white 2-year-old boy alongside a message referencing Black Lives Matter. The Clark County Sheriff's Office first became aware of the photo circulating social media on Tuesday and appears to be a direct reference to the former Minnesota cop Derek Chauvin. Patrol units were able to determine the location where the incident took place and made contact with both the mother and the child, as well as the male subject seen kneeling in the image. The Clark County Sheriff's Office said in an update on Facebook Thursday, the relationship between Jackson and the child's mother is unknown. Jackson isn't the only racist BLM supporter in trouble. Nationalist Review reports on a new disturbing development related to the already disturbing story. Today we've learned that one Atlanta high school teacher has suggested that the image wasn't graphic enough to satisfy his perverse needs. Brian Papin, who is reportedly a special education teacher at Cedar Grove High School in Atlanta, believed that the man kneeling on the baby's neck should have leaned in with all his weight until the child was dead. This is what we're dealing with. Life means nothing to them. The Gateway Pundit, according to Brian Papin's LinkedIn page, has been a special education teacher. He has been a special education teacher at Cedar Grove High School since July 2018. The Clark County Sheriff's Office has confirmed to Gateway Pundit that he is 100% certain that charges will be filed against those responsible for the photo of a 2-year-old baby being held down as his mother's boyfriend kneeled on his neck. Again, and here's what the teacher at Cedar Grove posted, and here it is right here. Again, you're doing it wrong. One knee on the center of the back and one on the neck, and lean into it until death. You saw the video. Get it right or stop effing around. How could anybody say that about a little innocent 2-year-old? Nationalist Review have reached out to the high school where Brian Papin works to determine whether they intend to launch an investigation into his comments and if there will be any consequences. After all, this is the high school that encouraged athletes to take a knee during the national anthem. The DeKalb County School District has responded to the incident indirectly in a Facebook post, saying they are aware of the situation and that it is currently being investigated. They also state that there is no place for racism in our school district. Well, I hope they do something with that guy. I hope that he is fired. He has no business being around children. Not just this guy. I mean, this guy's in jail, but this guy, for stating that they should have killed the child. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand how your heart can be that dark. I don't get it. How could you look at a crying 2-year-old and not have compassion on him? It's awful. It's beyond awful. Well, hello, Xander. Xander's now lying right beside the microphone, so if you hear anything, it's him. All right. Well, let's go back. I think I'm going to stop here real soon because I'm getting the pain's coming back because I've been sitting in one place too long. So I think I'm going to, let's just make sure. I think this is old enough that we've already seen this about people are testing positive for coronavirus, but they're getting back saying that they're positive for coronavirus, but they were never tested. I think we're all aware that that's happening. And this is the last item that I'm going to go over today. Now, somebody brought this to my attention on Twitter, and let me make this a bit bigger. Now, I did do some preliminary research on this today to see if I could find anything additional, and I can't. I need to spend a little more time as well looking. But look at this. This is Marina Abramovich, okay? And we all know her, the whole spirit cooking thing and all that, and weird performance art that she does. And here it says, I got a raw deal. Dad always loved his little princess Ghislaine more. Now, what they are alleging is that Michael Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's oldest brother, well, he supposedly died in a car accident in 1969. Today, if he were alive, he would be 73 years old, exactly the same age as Marina Abramovich. Look at the eyebrows. Now, this is Ghislaine's oldest brother, who died 1969. I don't know. Now, now this one looks a lot more. And I've always thought that Marina Abramovich looks a little, I don't know. She's odd looking. And especially for her age. She's 73 and I mean, she does not look like it at all. So, and I don't think it's plastic surgery. Could be some of that, Botox, whatever. But I think it could be what she consumes. But I don't know. So that's what is being alleged here, that Marina Abramovich could possibly be Ghislaine's oldest brother who supposedly died. I don't know. I can't see that personally. Although, you know what? Anything's possible these days, so I can't say, no, that's ridiculous, that's not. Because who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's strange things happening. Just look at, what's her face? Kamala Harris's face. What the heck happened there? And don't tell me that was a bad surgery. I don't believe that. I think that, have you seen those silicone masks? I'm going to have to look it up and show you a video on what they can do with silicone masks, how they can make you look like anybody, literally. And I think that is probably what they're using more than people are saying, oh, they're cloning people. I don't know. I'm not into that whole cloning thing and growing people up from, into an adult really quickly by cloning, and I don't know. That is a little bit too far-fetched for me to believe at this point, unless there's more evidence that comes. I'm not satisfied that that's a real thing, but I do believe that they are, they make copious uses of body doubles and so forth for these people, all famous people. I really believe they have body doubles, and I think that sometimes they can achieve that. They can make somebody look very, very much like the other person using silicone. And I'm going to try and get a video on that for you guys and show it to you so that you can understand. Because once you see it, you're like, oh my gosh. So anyway, that is it for tonight. I think I'm going to sign off now and lay back down on ice. That's what I've been doing. I've been laying on ice for 2 days, basically. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will try my best to be back tomorrow. If I'm as good as I am right now, I'll be back, and I'll do 1 or 2 videos, however much time I have. So there you go. All right. Well, you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth, because you know it. Deception bites. Good night, guys.